Sturgeon labelled delusional for not accepting obvious truth over vaccine success. Nicola Sturgeon has been criticised for not accepting the UK's successful vaccine rollout due to her blind hostility towards the Union. During an STV interview, the First Minister claimed that an independent Scotland could have chosen to procure the way it thought was best. She added that those who think the situation would have been worse were basically plucking this out of thin air. Ms. Sturgeon said, "This notion that the UK has only been able to procure the vaccine and vaccinate so many people because we're out of the EU is not borne out, firstly by the reality that the UK was still in the transition period, they're subject to all of the rules and regulations of the EU, when it procured the vaccine. European countries are able if they so wish, particularly during health emergencies, to procure in the way the UK did." Ms. Sturgeon claimed that an independent Scotland would have had similar vaccine success as it has now. She insisted that there is no evidential basis to say Scotland would not have vaccinated as many people as we've vaccinated right now. Donald Cameron, Scottish Tories health spokesperson, told The Telegraph that Ms. Sturgeon's claims were delusional nonsense. He said, "Nicola Sturgeon cannot accept the obvious truth about our world-leading vaccination programme, which is saving countless lives, because of her bitter and blind hostility to the United Kingdom. More than 2.7 million Scots have had their first jab, which should be a cause for celebration, but instead Sturgeon gives a churlish response with zero evidence to support her wild claim that an independent Scotland would have done just as well." Last year, a series of ministers called on the UK to sign up to the EU's vaccine procurement and were outraged when Boris Johnson refused. At the time, the SNP's Constitution Secretary Mike Russell said, "This idiotic refusal is all about Brexit and nothing to do with the pandemic. It will cost lives." Instead, Mr. Johnson put together the UK's vaccine task force and poured millions of pounds of taxpayers' money into setting up vaccine production lines. So far, the UK has vaccinated well over half of Britain's, whereas the EU has only inoculated around a fifth of its population. The EU failed to reach its target of inoculating 80% of older people by the end of March.